We need to close down the beaches and get a bigger boat because we're talking JAWS on the season finale of JaZ Make a Podcast.
Have you listened to this week's episode of What Went Wrong?
No, I have not yet. What did they cover this week? Cabaret was last week.
Temple of Doom.
Oh, that's right. Sequel month right now.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
I'm
Good
very
episode.
excited. I've been catching up on, we've been in a big Pirates of the Caribbean phase right now. Because Ben, I showed it
Ava,
to Ben.
right?
Yeah.
She seems like a pirate fan.
Yeah, definitely a pirate fan on account of how not funny she is. Very serious.
Oh, you're not going to sucker me into that.
For the listeners, Ava did hear the comment where John said she was not funny.
I was being funny in that comment.
See, the problem is you're both not funny.
Oh, man.
So it just spiraled on us. But yeah, so I've been catching up on Now Playing podcast, which is another one I really enjoy.
Oh, cool.
I did their their donation podcast or whatever you call it years ago to get the Pirates of the Caribbean one. So I've been going back through those as we've been watching the movies because Ben has rediscovered them. I showed them to him too young.
Yeah.
And I think he liked them, but he just didn't quite get it. And we started it again a couple weeks back, and yeah, over the moon.
I really like the first one. I don't know if I like any of the other ones.
You know, my memory was, we've only done the first two now, but my memory was I loved the first one. I stand by that. Still love the first one. The second one I did not like when I saw it in theaters, and I have softened on it a little bit. In my old age, going back to it this last time, I was like, oh, okay. It's not as good as the first. It's a little clunky. It's almost like the Phantom Menace sort of approach, where it's like, this is a really cool concept, but you're taking the fun out of it to put in this like political drama as well and put in too many storylines. But the action's still good. The acting is still really fun. All the set pieces work. It's still a fun movie. But my memory was 2, 3, I think 4. I also didn't like. And then the fifth one finally got me back. But of course I've seen all of them.
I don't even know if I've seen the fifth.
I can't remember which one is which now. But there's
something Tides.
Stranger Tides is the one I remember liking. And I think that's the fifth one. But we'll see.
Yeah, there's one where they go into some alternate dimension, right? Like the ocean flips over.
Oh, yeah. I think you're thinking at World's End.
A little weird.
Yeah, well, that's where they have to go to get Jack Sparrow back after he dies.
Yeah, well.
Because he's at World's End.
Yeah.
Yeah, where everything flips and
solve problems.
Yeah.
I wonder if there were any sharks in the water.
I don't think so. I think there were plans for sharks in Pirates of the Caribbean at one point. But it's not a thing to bring up at this point because it's summer.
Did the sharks have laser beams?
Freaking laser beams on their heads. It's weird you bring that up, though, because we've got a trip coming up. And we are going to this little town. It's cheaper than I would think it'd be, called Amity.
Oh.
With the family there. And I think everything should go perfectly well.
Totally. You should bring swimming trunks.
Yes, exactly. We are going to spend the whole time in the ocean. Hopefully the beach doesn't get closed for any reason.
It won't.
Because it never does.
Absolutely not.
Why would they close it?
Why would you close the beach?
So in honor of summer and a bit sad today, final episode of the season, we're talking the first summer blockbuster on JaZ Make a Podcast.
What a banger to go out on.
So great.
Season 1 of JaZ Make a Podcast. Finish hot.
Finish hot. End on JAWS. Steven Spielberg's big breakthrough. But
I watched JAWS 3. Sorry.
JAWS 3 People Zero? Have you heard that story?
No.
That was, I believe it was the third one, because the second one, I believe, bombed. And so whoever had the rights took the rights to National Lampoon. And National Lampoon, makers of the Vacation series and everything, wrote at least a treatment for a movie called JAWS 3. people 0.
I love it.
And it could have been brilliant.
Love it.
But instead they did JaZ 3 The Revenge, where a shark chases Michael Caine to the Caribbean, I think.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Any excuse to talk about Michael Caine. But I have a serious question for you before we dig into this. JaZ, known as kind of the first big summer blockbuster.
The OG.
Kind of created the whole thing. Are we past the age of the summer blockbuster now?
Yes. Yes, I think so. I do. And I'll be interested to hear your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But my recollection from certainly growing up right till kind of the early 2000s, you'd be coming into this time of year.
Yep.
And there would be dozens of trailers for the summer movies. There'd be lots of hype. I just don't feel any of that anymore. And maybe I'm not paying as much attention, but it just doesn't seem like the blockbuster tentpole summer movie is a thing anymore.
Yeah, and I haven't done the research. I planned on doing it, looking into sort of like if there's declining box office revenues, anything like that. But yeah, that's the thing. The feel of it seems to have gone. I think the last time I vaguely remember that would have been around, I think it was Avengers or Avengers Endgame maybe.
Yep.
And those I feel were real early in the season for that. But looking ahead this year, I think, Supergirl obviously is one of the big ones coming up. But it just, it doesn't feel like...
You mean a re-release of 1984's Supergirl?
Yeah, remaster. They Lucased it and they redid all the effects to make it even better.
What do you mean, even better?
Oh, you wouldn't think it could be improved on, but now she fights more nothing.
More nothing. now with 30% more nothing.
ILM went all out on the nothing. If you have not heard our review of Supergirl, go back an episode. It is a treasure.
Oh, and that watching JaZ, it's like a lovely palate cleanser from having to watch Supergirl.
Oh, so, okay. I have not gone back to JaZ in a very long time. And I had fallen into the camp, and we talked about this previously just shortly off pod, where I think we sort of both settled on we were appreciators, but not necessarily lovers of this movie.
Yep.
Going back, watching it through again for this purpose, I retract that statement. I'm 100% on board. I love this movie.
I agree. I think this is maybe the third or fourth time I've seen JaZ, and I think watching it this morning was my favorite experience. Noticed some more things, was alive to some more elements story wise. And I think, and you're the filmmaker, so you'll have some thoughts on this, but it really felt like it's a transitional film visually.
Yeah.
Like it sort of looks like some of those early 70s, late 60s films, but it's also, you can see in it Spielberg's visual language that is going to shape the 1980s.
Yes,
And
straight through to
so
today.
It really
still
feels like a transitional film in that regard.
Yeah, it's. I can't understate how well shot this is. I mean, they're on a bit of a budget. It's not a cheap movie by any means, but they do so much storytelling through the camera here to save money. And notoriously, the shark didn't work all that well, but it's better when you don't see the shark. And the shark's good, but there's one shot where they're looking down from, I can't remember, like the crow's nest or whatever on the ship. And you see, I think it's Brody leaning out over the water, and you just see like the shark. It doesn't even breach. It doesn't get to the surface. You just see it come up and then slowly fade back into the water.
But you just get a sense of scale for it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's such a great shot. There's the Zolly shot. I actually contacted a DOP friend of mine during this and said, if you're not using this to talk to young people about film, like you need to. And he responded that, yes, of course, he 100% is, because it's fantastic. Obviously, we would use JaZ. It is so incredibly well shot. And yeah, brought out the era of the summer blockbuster and set us up for like 20 years of this sort of movie.
Yes, absolutely. And I really think it was a blessing in disguise that the animatronic shark didn't work.
Yes.
And it's a testament to Spielberg as a filmmaker who doesn't try to just make it work or just live with it being a really poor effect, but instead decides to shift the film to all kinds of different tricks to give a sense of the scale and the power of this of the shark. I was cognizant this morning, that they have Roy Scheider flipping through a textbook.
Yeah.
That shows a bunch of visuals of shark attacks and bodies that have been dismembered. And so I thought, well, I wouldn't have thought of it before, but it's like, there's another way to signal to the audience the danger of the shark.
Totally.
And then ripping the dock off, when the two guys
the two fishermen
they
there.
go through again, just another easy way to give it a sense of power and unpredictability. I thought, this is just genius. And then later, skipping ahead, when they're on the Orca, having the shark start ramming the boat. Again, it creates such great tension. And you don't even have to see it.
No, you never have to see this thing. And this is one of the times where I don't think seeing the monster lessens it at all. But it's definitely like, I could have gone that whole movie and never really seen the shark and been totally fine with it. The book, I want to go back to the book you mentioned there, because right when they're starting to figure out we've got this man-eating shark, Brody goes, played by wonderful Roy Scheider. Spielberg also said would never work with sharks or water again until Roy Scheider and Sequest DSV.
Do you think it's a crossover?
I assume this is 100% Brody's looking for peace and enlists in the Oceanic
becomes a
whatever the heck that
submarine captain.
But I've talked before on this podcast how I struggle with the concept of world building. I feel world building in most movies happens at the expense of the story. The worst examples of being like big walls of text at the start saying, in this year, this crazy thing happened, and now everybody is doing this thing that you wouldn't have expected. Can't stand that. It feels lazy to me. The book is a great example of world building through story. We're seeing and learning, holy cow, this is what sharks can do. And it's played off in the end as a joke, which is great because it's the sheriff and his wife's son is in the boat. And the sheriff, Brody, runs out and says, get out of the boat. He says, it's his birthday. Let him enjoy the boat. But then she sees the open book with like a boat being destroyed. She's like, get out of the boat. Wonderfully played.
Wonderfully played. Even the, and it's a conscious choice to make it an island community. Yeah. Which I think, again, helps with that world building to give a sense of remoteness, a sense of isolation. Yes. A sense of, you are subject to the ocean and whatever might be in there. And I thought that was a really good, a good choice as well.
And it adds into that as well. The isolation is huge, but also the idea of an island community like this doesn't have resources to deal with this stuff. So you get in that first act there where I thought the movie was going to be slow because the first act pacing and the editing and everything cut by Verna Field's legendary editor. It's a slower pace. Yeah. And I was really happy to see it pick up as it went. But in that first act, you need Roy Scheider's character to get ahead of this because he's got a day or 2 days before, or I think it's a week. I think it was a week after the first kill.
It's June 29th.
That's right. And they're getting ready for the July 4th weekend. Yeah. And you need him to get ahead of it because if he doesn't get ahead of this, there's now all of a sudden going to be thousands more people than this small community can handle. And there's no resources to then keep them away to deal with the shark.
Yeah, and they handle those narrative bits to propel the plot in a really economical way. When I'm thinking about those lines where they talk about all the people that are going to be coming in, they raise the stakes from an economic perspective. Yeah. Then, they talk about bringing on extra police officers for the weekend, but they haven't arrived yet. So there's all these great ways that the tension in the film is being moved forward, but it doesn't feel like it's hitting people on the head with exposition. It all feels very natural, and I thought that was great.
Well, and I think a lot of that goes back to the cinematic language. And at some point, I want to dig into go through the plot or the characters or something. But when Richard Dreyfuss shows up, who is fantastic in this movie.
He really is, yeah.
He's so good. And there are, I think it's one long scene, but through a couple of shots, there is just brilliant. It's all exposition. But the staging of Richard Dreyfuss, Roy Scheider, and the mayor, who I don't know the actor's name, is just so brilliantly done. All they're doing is spouting exposition, but this shot tracks with them.
Yeah.
And throughout that shot, they're rotating who is like front and center in frame, taking the power away from the other characters. And so Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss will come in and they'll be on either side of the mayor saying, shut things down. And the mayor looks really small. They'll walk to the next part of the beach that they're checking out. But then the mayor will circle around to be, biggest in frame and tell them, it's like, no way in hell I'm shutting the beach down.
Yeah.
We make all our money this weekend. For the year.
Well, and there's that great comment from, I think it's Robert Shaw, who says it when they have the meeting, the town meeting about, actually might not.
Is the comment?
Yeah, is the comment? Oh God, don't do it. But it's either him or it's, I think it is him. But just talking about if you don't deal with this, then you're going to starve over the winter.
Yeah,
or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But again, it was a great line to just get the stakes higher.
oh yeah,
we have to as an audience understand that, because otherwise you might not take it seriously. Well, I don't know, who cares? Close the beach. But to have a sense that there's an existential nature to it for the health of this community.
Yeah.
I thought that you really had to pull that off. Otherwise, as a viewer, you're just like, well, don't go in the water. The movie's over.
But then it turns into something that could tear this community apart.
Yeah.
Because yes, we lost a young child, and then a young adult first, and then a young I don't know, 9-year-old-ish kid. Also, what is in the water at Amityville? Because all these parents with young children look like they're about 70 years old.
Yeah, it's true.
I assumed it was grandparents at the beach with the kids, but it's not. Those are the parents. The 70s were a hard time.
Well, and there's a great scene. It's early on. It's after the first attack, before the second attack, I think. And nobody wants to go in the water.
Yeah.
And it's played so well, right? And the mayor comes over and, hey,
Hey, Joe,
don't you want to go first? Well, I just got some suntan oil on, and he and his family go so hesitantly into the water. I thought that was really played well.
Oh, it's great. Now, okay, I'm going to nitpick on this a little bit. It is the 4th of July weekend. The people are already there now. I don't know why the mayor cares as much at this point. Like, the beach is open. All the people have been suckered into coming here. Are people just, and I mean, this is a cultural
Well,
thing.
you're right about that. Yeah.
Would they turn around and just go home?
Yeah. Well, if I can't swim.
If I can't swim, there's nothing else here.
I'm definitely not going to go and have lunch.
Yeah, I'm going to starve all weekend. Cross the arms.
Or buy these knickknacks.
Yeah. It's a snow globe that says Amityville. Okay, I want to dig a little bit into characters here because I think this is some of the finest character work you'll see in anything from this era. It's really the start of kind of the American New Wave.
Yeah, I agree.
Roy Scheider as the fish out of water, pun intended, sheriff who came from somewhere else. I don't think we ever really understand where he came from.
New York.
He's running from something. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, he says he said he was from New York City.
Yeah, and he's running from something. He's looking for a peaceful retreat. He's basically, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, Lethal Weapon-ish background sort of to a character. We're getting away from something.
I think he talks about it. It's not a particularly prominent line, but I think he talks about it's a kind of a stress thing. Like New York was incredibly stressful because of its violence and crime, and now he's in a community where there's just no stress at all.
Yeah, because there's never been a murder.
So he feels better. His family feels that's what I took from it.
Well, and it's funny because you learn later he hates the water and boats. Like, he doesn't like being on a boat. He doesn't like the water for any real reason, and he's moved to this tiny island.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, but I get it. Like, they gave him enough backstory that I can suspend my disbelief. It's like, this was so bad in New York that you came out here. And it's really interesting watching him fight against the mayor and the local establishments that want to keep the beaches open, to then go and become yet another fish out of water in the third wheel on the Orca later. Yeah. With Quint and what was Dreyfuss's character's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
Dreyfuss?
Yeah, Dreyfuss.
It was Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. Before he got abducted by aliens.
Yes, correct.
Which is interesting. Well, actually, I should say it actually is interesting in that, Spielberg grabs Dreyfus again for Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like,
Yeah.
what, 2 years later, roughly? So,
That sounds about right.
Hopper?
Hopper? Sure. Let's go with Hopper.
Yeah, it's Hopper.
Okay.
So whatever.
yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss.
So Richard Dreyfuss, Hopper, comes over from the mainland with the Oceanographic Institute. And initially we see him as kind of like a foil. I shouldn't even say a foil, but a sidekick or partner with Roy Scheider's Brody. And that's great until they get on the ship with this grizzled sea captain, Quint, which could have been so bad and over the top.
Oh, totally.
But it is played brilliantly.
Oh, and the USS Indianapolis monologue that Shaw,
Heart-wrenching. It's
heart-wrenching, and it works so perfectly to explain his obsession.
So and it's terrifying in that sense too, because when we get that monologue, you're starting to realize, oh, this guy is not on the side of Brody and Hopper. This guy is willing to and likely wanting to die out here.
Yeah.
Like he wants to go the way his comrades went, but he's going to take out a shark with him. And that's why he destroys the radio. They can't call back for help, which is Roy Scheider really gets me in that moment when Quint comes in and smashes the radio with the baseball bat, and Roy Scheider just starts screaming, well, that's great. That's just great. And that's where you see the 60s still a little bit. Like there's no swearing. It's just him saying, that's great. We're out here alone with the man-eating shark.
And that was a scene where I felt like it was coming up on maybe not really working for me. Mm-hmm. Like I was understanding the sort of the Captain Ahab.
Yeah.
Like he's becoming more and more obsessed, wants to destroy the radio because doesn't want any help, wants to actually take this shark on his own.
Yeah.
But I don't think that had really developed well enough. And he comes in and he smashes the radio, and you're just kind of, oh, geez.
That's the one that goes a little too far.
I didn't feel like they had really the character had gotten there yet, from my perspective.
I didn't mind that he did it. I think the issue is after that, nothing changed. Like now we have this new information for Hopper and Brody.
Yeah.
And they're not doing anything differently. It's like, oh, now we know we're out here with a madman.
Yeah.
I guess he's just, well, it's his boat. I guess we'll just keep doing that.
That's a good point. Like it doesn't alter the stakes in any meaningful way. So you're kind of left with, if Spielberg was here right now, I'd say like, what was the rationale for doing that?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really play well.
If you're listening, Spielberg, feel free to call.
Yeah. I mean, he long time
Klondike
listener.
555. One more.
The other thing I thought about, interested to hear your thoughts on it. He talks about the USS Indianapolis. That was the ship that delivered the atomic bomb,
right,
into the Pacific theater. So it could be like, and I kind of thought about, because why you're of course going to make it that in order to try and say something about the story and the character. And I sort of thought like, is he carrying a guilt there? Is he thinking about his role as sort of a messenger of death? Like he's part of that team that delivers this bomb that leads to the death of hundreds of thousands of people. Is there something there? I don't know. I don't know if I'm reaching for it.
I feel you're reaching a bit.
Okay.
What I read in that was he's definitely.
Well, I say good day to you,
well,
sir.
I said, end of podcast, end of season 1, end of series. I felt more. He does have guilt, but I felt it was more just survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
That he made it home. He didn't get ripped up by a shark or anything, and that he's going to then essentially, like say, I think he wants to die in the water the way he wants to go out with. Taking out a bloody shark with him. And I think that's where, I got the same thing with the very Captain Ahab, archetype here. But it's interesting to me because when he brings that in, that's also when him and Hopper start to like bond because they don't get along at all at the start.
Yeah.
Until they start sharing essentially war stories about sharks. And they realize like, oh, we do have stuff in common. And then now all of a sudden, again, when we talk about transition of power and the way it's shot and the way this whole story goes, now Brody is on the outs again on there. Quint and Hopper. Quint's giving orders. Hopper's following the no trouble, and Brody Chief is just like he's slinging the chum into the water.
Slinging the chum.
He's stuck in that role.
Which, by the way, I know it's such a famous line, but boy, is it good.
Which line are you thinking?
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh yeah, you're gonna need a bigger boat.
It is so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, like if you want to think about how do blockbusters become iconic, I'd almost say that line just delivers in that moment. It's just wow, like you've just nailed it.
Well, and I think let's talk a little bit about what makes the blockbusters and what came out of this. I think this is a very moment heavy movie. I think the story's great. I think it works start to finish, but you can look back and pull out moments where it's like, wasn't it awesome when this happened, and wasn't that great? Whereas I feel we didn't get a ton of that before now. It's kind of like how speeches are now built into, clips. I'm going to say things so that you can cut out this 3 seconds here. And that's the clip that you're going to use.
Yeah.
We get it right off the start with the poor stunt woman getting jerked around in the water where it's like, holy crap.
I thought that looked great.
That looked great. I believe she got a serious back injury from doing that stunt.
Yeah, lots of chiropractic work after that.
Yeah, that looked rough. But it's a great opening. And while the guy falls asleep on the beach is awesome. My moment that I had two that I loved when I was a kid and saw this. One was when Quint drinks a beer and then crushes the can with his hands. And Hopper drinks water out of a styrofoam cup and then crushes the styrofoam cup. That always made me laugh. And the big ending when the shark has what is the gas? It's a tank. Is it oxygen?
It's an oxygen tank.
Okay, he's got the tank of oxygen in his mouth, and Shaggy says, "Smile, you son of a!" And then they cut for the explosion. Awesome.
And I love when a movie, it was Chekhov's air tank.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I really appreciate that. I appreciate when they take the time to really, even though it's totally expository, but really make look, this will explode, and it helps you because now the chief is going to know that that's available.
Yeah.
You as the audience know it's available. And it doesn't come out of nowhere. And I think sometimes movies kind of forget that. Like, oh, well, how about we just use an air tank? And then just assume everybody would be aware of that without setting it up properly. And so I really appreciate that they did that.
Oh, totally. And even when we say Chekhov's whole thing was if there's a gun on the mantle in the first act, it has to go off in the third act. The air tanks show up in the first act of the third act. If you break the third act into 3 parts, because there's really three act acts.
Well, yes,
because no people there. Yeah, all the people are there, and then on the ship.
And there's such an interesting shift when the mayor is finally reduced out of the story, recognizes his complete failure. Yeah, signs the chit, and then the movie just completely shifts. And, in fact, every character from that first half of the film. Thank you for your service. Yep. We will see you later.
Because the debate is over.
Yeah.
The first and second act are largely just debate. Should we shut down the beach or not?
Yeah.
And obviously we know watching the movie. Yeah, shut it down. We saw what it did to this woman. We saw it go into the pond. Is the pond when the mayor starts to break down? Is it after that?
Yes, because it's at the hospital with.
That's right.
With the chief's kid.
Yes.
Who's traumatized because the sailing instructor he got eaten.
Only
that great scene with the leg. And going to your earlier point, I think Spielberg has said this. His great thing was taking what would have been a B movie and giving them a movie treatment.
Yeah.
And I think you really see that here.
Totally.
10 years earlier, it might have been a completely schlocky.
This would have been Towering Inferno sort of disaster.
Exactly. Movie. And he just elevates it.
Yeah.
And I think that was revelatory because certainly Indiana Jones that becomes the gold standard then for taking sort of that pulpy
Yeah.
B movies,
Serialized.
serialized, and making it into a high budget spectacle.
Oh, I mean, if you look, okay, let's jump to Indiana Jones for just a second here. But have you seen like Treasure of the Sierra Madre, the old Humphrey Bogart movie?
Yeah, exactly right.
Which is like very much the predecessor, but
Yeah.
not treated nearly as seriously and grandiose as Indiana Jones does. And yeah, I stand by. This would have been JaZ if it had been made even 5 years earlier, maybe even like 3 years earlier, would have been fodder for like an airplane-like comedy
For sure.
in 5-10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really think from my perspective, Spielberg has this incredible way, especially early in his career, to mix tension and humor and emotion that gets great performances out of young actors. Like he really is able to walk that fine line and not let it get bananas, not let it become too schmaltzy. He's got a really good nose for the emotional tenor of a film.
Well, and I think early especially, he allowed us to feel his films were more dangerous, especially in regards to young people.
Yeah.
And there's something that changed at some point, and I haven't looked into specifically a year or what changed, but I'm willing to bet he probably like had kids at some point, and then all of a sudden it was a lot harder to kill a kid on screen, which is what happens here. Like say the second death is a very young kid.
Yeah, and it's a challenging death scene.
Oh,
It is gnarly.
like just the floaty or whatever it was that he was on, come up on shore, and that's how the mom realizes that her kid died.
the blood.
Yeah. Oh,
Like, whoa.
it's so, but that sort of danger adds the gravitas here.
Yeah.
And Spielberg treats every death as serious. Nothing here is treated as a joke in terms of the death, I feel. Did one of the two fishermen die? As I'm saying this, that one was played a little.
No,
comedically.
that was
escaped,
played
right?
comedically, but they both escaped.
Yeah.
But I think it helped. I think he needed that to keep the tension going.
Oh, and it showed us the shark is huge as it tears up an entire dock.
Yeah.
But so then I stand by what I said. Every death is played very seriously.
Oh, 100%. And he doesn't do, what some say horror movies are guilty of creating kind of a moral issue or questioning a character's morality.
Yeah.
And then that leads to a death. Like he does none of that, which I think sort of it's the every person victim.
Yes.
It could be anyone.
Oh, totally. And again, the brilliance of some of it comes from the fact that we can empathize with everybody here. Mm-hmm. I can fully understand the mayor saying it's like the odds of another shark attack are incredibly low. Because they are. Shark attacks in general are incredibly rare. And they would know this. They live in shark waters, just not great white man eating shark waters until then. So you could fully understand the mayor saying, we don't want to shut this down. This will cripple the town. So I get the motivation there. I get the community not wanting to shut down and them kind of joking about it with everybody thinking, it's never happened here before. It's probably never going to happen again. Full speed ahead, damn the torpedoes. And that is what brings a lot of sympathy to the mayor when he has his breakdown after realizing he should have listened to the out-of-towner sheriff. In terms of the deaths, I want to even call out, he doesn't even go for the easy sympathy card in the dog death.
No, that's right.
I
forgot about the dog.
You could blink and miss it. The dog goes out to fetch a stick or a bone or something.
Yeah.
The bone comes floating back in. The dog does not.
Dog is gone.
But because that's another one that would be very typically played as what Mick Foley in wrestling for ages would have called a cheap pop. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get a nice close up of the dog with the big cute eyes and everything. They'll go in and then we'll show a bunch of blood or something or see the dog go under. It's like, no, it's just like, man, this thing could really strike anywhere. That's where a lot of this tension comes from.
Yeah. And something I noticed on this watching, I think he does a masterful job of using silence. I mean, the score is iconic, of course, but there's so many scenes where you're just listening to the water, or it's very quiet, or there's voices, but you hear them in the sound mix far away. And so he's constantly kind of just bringing together even scenes that are quite idyllic and calm to chaos. And I thought that was really cool as well. Like a really big bombastic score that was kind of going through it all the scenes. It wouldn't work. Wouldn't work as nicely as just this real silence.
Well, and it feels very much like it's, for John Williams especially, who's known for big, like, bombastic, noticeable scores.
Never heard of him.
It's so we should do a film composer death bracket or something like that so we could have an excuse to look into
should.
Should almost do that.
That.
Never mind. It's a very understated score.
Yeah.
For him. It's so simple and it's not throughout, which is great because usually when I'm thinking John Williams, the big one I think of is like Star Wars, and especially looking at the prequel trilogy, where his music is doing so much heavy lifting to like tell the audience, oh, now you should feel sad because somebody has died. Now you should feel happy because we're celebrating on all of the planets because we overthrew whoever. And that doesn't come here. This is just lets you sit in that moment. You feel like you are part of this town and just watching a real 4th of July weekend.
Yep.
In this town.
Yeah, 100%.
I also love, in the age we live in, I feel it's as relevant as ever, watching all the people that get told, it's like, hey, $1,000 to you if you go kill this shark. And like one boat loads up like 7 more people than should be on the boat. And Richard Dreyfuss says like, you can't have that many on there. He's like, don't tell us what to do. He's like, hey, you're all going to die. Goodbye. They all die.
And I loved a lot of those scenes. Because it really was like the villagers with pitchforks. Mm-hmm. And I think they did that really, really well.
Yeah.
And certainly I like the Quint says very, very early on, hey, if you want this done, it's not going to be easy. My fee is $10,000.
Yeah.
And it really is interesting that he knows even at that moment, like this is not a garden variety shark.
Yeah. He's seen this. He knows.
And so it plants it there and just it lets that seed germinate.
Yeah.
And you don't see him again until the halfway point. Right?
Well, and okay, this is another interesting moment. Because in that moment he says like, no crew, no co-pilots.
Yeah.
You pay me this, I do it alone. And then he walks out, but he walks out with somebody else, which felt kind of like that was one of the few missteps for me where it's like
short round.
Yeah, he walks up with short round. he has a little sidekick there. It's like, but this guy just said, like, no, I'm a lone wolf. I don't work with anybody. Yeah. So why does he have a side? One, I mean, I'm nitpicking. It's minor, but it's kind of like, that's just a little bit of a missed character beat.
Yeah, if we're picking nits, Hopper shows up on the island, seemingly kind of just a professor type, has just a leather bag with him.
Yeah.
And then a few scenes later, he has like a pimped out super yacht.
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
And I hadn't picked up on it until watching it today. Just wait a second. You had that.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to take a ferry over to the island.
Somebody else had to ship it there for him.
Why aren't you guys going to go on that
instead of the Orca?
Mm-hmm. So, but again, just that's
minor quibbles,
picking nits.
Also, a great Dreyfuss moment. Well, actually, probably more of a Scheider moment. Dreyfuss drops in for dinner unannounced.
Oh yeah, are you gonna eat that?
Yeah, takes Roy Scheider's dinner but also brings a bottle of wine.
2 bottles of wine.
You're right, red and white, because he didn't know what they were having. And Roy Scheider opens the bottle of wine, pours himself a massive glass of wine, and gives Richard Dreyfuss and the wife like little like regular wine glasses. And it's again because it's played seriously. It's like you have to pay attention. It's like I'm listening to Dreyfuss talk or whoever was talking at that point. I could totally miss Scheider doing this very funny comedic beat here because he doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. Just pours it and then sits there with a massive glass, like a pint glass full of red wine.
And he certainly conveys, I think, really effectively his sense of guilt, because that's after the kid dies and, he gets confronted by the mom. So, I thought that was perfectly played.
Yeah.
Whatever his backstory is, that anxiety and that he's trying to escape, it's clearly caught up with him.
Yeah. There's no running away from New York.
Yeah.
Because New York is a character. Even in JaZ, you can't get away from New York.
I mean, what do you think about Hopper surviving?
I didn't mind it at the end, but I would have been fine also had he died. It felt like it was set up for him to just die. Like it makes sense to me story-wise that Scheider would have been the only survivor.
I agree, because my view today is that Quint and Hopper are obsessed.
Yes.
From different perspectives.
Well, we see them bond over that obsession.
And so it really felt like, Quint needs to die by his own hubris, really. I think Hopper needs to die putting too much faith in technology.
Yeah.
And so it didn't...
Trusting his cage.
Like, I liked the character, so from that perspective, I wasn't unhappy that he survived. But it didn't... From a story perspective, you've got these two obsessives. You've got the chief of police. He's really just representing safety, law and order. And you kind of just need those two characters to die.
Yes.
And then have the chief face his fear and ultimately slay the dragon.
Is the dragon, which is the shark, is it representing New York?
Yes.
Yeah, clearly, obviously.
100%.
The dragon is the shark, is New York.
I remember when I first arrested that shark in the East River. I'll get you, copper.
That would have made perfect sense to me. Because like I said, we see them bond. We see Scheider again become, the outcast here.
Yeah.
So it'd make perfect sense for both of them to go down for their obsessions. Like I say, Dreyfuss is so lovable in this movie. I'm happy that he was around at the end, but it felt kind of like it might have been a test screening thing where they had to go back.
Totally could have been, right?
Yeah, and get Dreyfuss out of the water. It's like, I swam away real fast.
Because there's no even, I mean, the shark is really into that cage and Hopper's stabbing at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not really all that plausible that he gets away.
Oh, no, it felt, everything there says he died. Like, looking back at it, I didn't see anything, like, every now and then, like, so, let's go Indy again. Last Crusade, it's obvious Indy didn't go off the edge. He rolled off to the side or so. Like, it's totally believable that, and when everybody's sad and wallowing over Indy went over the edge of the cliff, we all know, no. He's right.
Okay.
It's okay. It's fine. This one, there's nothing looking back where it's like, oh, there's the underwater, like there's the submarine that came and grabbed that he held onto the side of that pulled him away from the shark. It's like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
This guy's dead. Yeah. Because this shark is unstoppable.
He's mega dead.
Yeah. I don't see any way he survives it. But again, because we like him, I'm happy he did.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, probably another, again, nitpicky, like doesn't quite work. If you're looking back at this though, is there anything that you would change that doesn't actually work for you? Something that looks like this is actually something that I think would be better if it wasn't in the movie or if it was handled differently.
I honestly don't think so. I think this is in that pantheon of near perfect films. Because the only things I can think of, we've already talked about, just a few nits where you might clean something up or maybe explain something differently.
Maybe get some age appropriate parents on that island.
But other than that, I really can't think of anything that I would massively shift. I really just, I think it works very, very well. How about you?
I have one.
Oh,
I think
I would have said it in the Arctic.
That's right. And combined it with the Thing. No, I think the only thing that really didn't work for me, and I think this is just, again, a product of its time sort of thing. I don't love the opening. Not the opening where the girl gets killed, but the opening before that, where it's a tracking shot underwater just with the score.
Oh, I like that.
No, see, I feel it's just kind of like it sticks out to me. I don't think we have any other shots underwater from the shark's POV. So it's not like we get this again.
Yeah, you do.
Do we?
Yeah. You get it often, I'd say.
Would you say? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe
there's lots of those underwater shots where you see the legs.
Yeah, I guess. I felt it didn't build tension for me. I thought I would, if I was making one change, and it's an easy change to make, and I'm going to do it and make you watch that version 1 year from now, I'm cutting that opening off starting on the beach.
Clearly
And then after the girl goes under, then boom, big
makes
text, Jaws.
a far more exceptional film.
Yeah, that's going to fix everything that's wrong with it. Take it from near perfect.
I really think, by the way, that first scene on the beach when the woman starts running and there's a sort of a tracking shot along.
Yeah.
There was something so Spielberg about that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really feel like right off the hop, you can see like these are the movies of the next decade.
Oh,
and this is the guy who's doing them.
The entire way. Who did we look up? Who shot this? Was it Slocum?
Might have been. Let's see.
I'm pulling that up now. To
the other thing I thought was so interesting about Jaws is how immediately it impacted. Cinematography by Bill Butler.
Okay.
Because if you think to Alien, Alien would have been the next year, 2 years later.
What year was this?
75.
It was 75. So I think 2 years later was Alien.
When you see Alien pulls the same trick. Mm-hmm. You hardly ever see the xenomorph.
Oh, in that sense, yeah.
You know, and I really wonder if Ridley Scott, takes a page out of Jaws and says, actually, you know how I can amp up tension is to actually not show the alien.
Yeah, don't show it basically at all, except in the one worst shot of the movie.
Exactly, and that's exactly why I bring it up. Is just like when Quint gets eaten, and it's not bad, but it's not great.
Yeah.
Once you see the alien in Alien, it's not great either.
Yes.
But you're already so invested and the tension is so perfect. I just let it go, right?
I would okay. Well, now you're like poking an open wound with me.
Oh.
I don't let it go in Alien. In Jaws, I let it go that it's an animatronic shark because I think it looks good. I believe it's a shark.
Why don't you let it go in Alien?
Because in Alien, it is very clearly a guy in a rubber suit, just reaching out and doing and moving his fingers a little bit.
It is bad, but it's good.
But then they also go down to him tethered to the ship and he's getting blasted out the airlock. I feel at that point, that's also right at the end of the movie. So it feels extra unnecessary to me at that point to show it in that light. I'm not saying it was the wrong instinct to have the alien there. I don't know. It doesn't work for me at all because we see it too much. Maybe it's just because it is a human in a suit. Whereas the shark, even though it's not a natural shark, it looks like a shark because it's animatronic.
There was a human in there.
Was there a human inside the shark?
Oh, yeah.
Piloting that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Two little midgets. It was Kenny Baker.
Was it actually Kenny Baker?
And he just was on like a little, like a treadmill almost.
I don't know if you're joking with
I
me.
am totally joking.
Okay. I
think it was pure animatronic.
As soon as you went Kenny Baker, it's like you're messing with me and I don't know enough to say that's not true. But no, it's an animal. It looks like an animal. It works for me. I know the shark was a nightmare on set to work with. What's in the film, I think, looks great and works.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Quint's death is a little over the top and long. I think it could have been more effective seeing less of it. But it didn't take me out the way the alien at the end of Alien does.
No, I agree. I admire Spielberg's instinct to not show the animatronic shark, but I also think at that end scene, it really isn't that bad.
No, I don't think
actually
so.
Through most of the film, and you talked about that scene, that overhead scene where the shark doesn't even breach, but you just get a sense of it swimming.
Yeah.
I thought it looked great. And know that's a practical effect.
Oh yeah. It's great. That is, to me, that is the scariest shot of the movie.
Yeah.
Is just seeing the shark underneath the boat and how big it is. It's a great shot. I think the animatronic for the nightmare it was on set, it was worth it. It looks great. And I know Spielberg, went ahead and said like he's never doing anything like this again. Also, why would you go back? Like, you nailed it. I understand where a studio wants Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and all, but if you're Spielberg, why would you go back to that?
No, and I totally agree that why the studios would want the sequels. It doesn't feel at all like a film that should have a sequel.
No,
the
story's done.
Not even remotely.
No, and two of the characters, I guess, survived, but really only one did. And what's going to happen? Like, is he going to go fight another? Does he become a freelance shark fighter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. There's the sequel.
He takes over. He's the new Quint.
and just sails around the world fighting sharks.
Exactly. Just a harpoon for hire.
No, sorry. We did nail it. He's the captain of the
He's the captain of the Sequest.
That's what happens. What a movie to end on. This movie is great.
This was, yeah. I was reflecting a little bit today about season 1 of JaZ Make a Podcast.
Yes.
The films I really, really enjoyed this year: Phantom, Shutter Island, Jaws,
Supergirl, Van Helsing,
Sleepy Hollow. It was great to see a couple films I'd never seen, a couple that I was revisiting, and those ones stick out for me as just being thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, I haven't gone back to the entire season. I would say the movie I hated the most was Van Helsing, without question.
We're doing it every year.
Every year.
Oh,
I assume the season is we're just going to do the same movies every year and just have updated thoughts.
How are you feeling about it now?
I don't know, about the same. And then just play the old one. Van Helsing was a low light probably for me. I honestly loved Supergirl. I was so happy to watch that. That movie was so insane. Like we talked about at the end of that, it's not something I would enjoy had I just sat down and watched it, but knowing we were talking about it, watching it with someone, that's the way to experience just a bonkers movie.
So why can't you enjoy Van Helsing in that same way?
I just don't find there's any charm in there. I don't think we talked about it in the episode. It's so tonally dissonant. Like it doesn't know if it's camp. It doesn't know if it's serious.
Yeah.
It doesn't strike that balance. And all the performances are different levels of serious. I'm trying to remember, I think it's Hugh Jackman plays it like as serious as a heart attack, whereas Igor is like swinging for the fences with camp. Pick one or the other, and I might have liked it more, but I just feel it didn't deliver on what I wanted from it.
So how about for this October?
Yes.
Season 2, we put a number of scary films into a hat to pick one to do for an episode, but we definitely put
Van Helsing.
Like there's just a possibility that you're going to have to watch it again.
Oh, I like that.
And we are going to have to revisit it.
I like that. I think we need to record live the draw.
Yes.
And put it out there. But there's a chance you're going to make me watch Van Helsing for a second year in a row.
Every year there will be the sword of Damocles over your head. You might have to watch. It could be Van Helsing.
But all the good movies are also like Sleepy Hollow. We're not going back to
Jaws.
We're not going back to Jaws.
No.
Just Van Helsing.
Just Van Helsing. There's always a risk. There's a non-zero chance that you're going to have to watch Van Helsing again.
You know what? I think that's a good reason to quit the podcast now. You can host this with Ben next year. I want to let the audience know too, though, even though the season's over, we do have some more short form content coming up to go over the summer. We're going to have some stuff coming out. But we're coming back in September with season 2 of JaZ Make a Podcast.
Hot.
Come back hot with possibly Van Helsing.
Hotter than ever.
So for the listeners, thank you for listening to us, hopefully the whole season. And as always, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. And most importantly,
Slam evil.
Slam evil. Is it slam?
It's slam, man.
Have I been saying smash the whole season?
Well, we've been doing this. Now you got me wondering.
No, you're probably right. It's probably slam the like button and slam the subscribe button.
I think it is. I think it is. We should do Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
It's Phantom. Yeah, Slam Evil.
It's Slam Evil.
It's Slam Evil.
Okay.
I can't believe you screwed that up.
Slam that like button, slam that subscribe button, and most importantly,
Slam Evil.
Slam Evil. Thanks, listeners. Go out on a high note. Thanks for listening to this episode of JaZ Make a Podcast. For more JaZ Make a Podcast, be sure to follow us on your social platform of choice, as long as that choice is Instagram. You can find us at JaZ Make a Podcast. That's JAZ Make a Podcast.